Oregon's healthy now. They got Will Richardson back. They're legit. And look, Loyola's a really good team, but I don't care whether they're underseeded or not. Illinois was a 1. They should win that game, whether it's played in the Sweet 16 or the Elite 8 or in the second round. There's not a lot of excuse, I think, for Ohio State and Purdue losing to the teams they lost to the way they lost. And they played poorly. Their opponents played well. But Oral Roberts won their next game. But all of the mid-major double-digit seeds that won got beat by double digits in the next game. The only one that won another game was Oral Roberts playing against Florida as a 7 seed. So I think the Big Ten has a little bit of explaining to do. I don't think it invalidates the fact that it was the best league. Like, we can't look at the analytics and say, aha, the analytics say that Loyola was underseeded, and then turn around and throw them out the window when it comes to the Big Ten, because they dominated the analytics. They had a great year, but they underperformed in the tournament, and that's a significant factor when it goes over that sort of sample size. When you have 8 teams that are out after 2 games are played, that's pretty stout rebuttal that they're they didn't perform at a high level.
No, not at all. Look, we know it. 40 minutes, it's a one-off. Anything can happen. But you say, well, when 8 failed to get to that second weekend, then I don't need to say anything more. Michigan, Bama, they both showed out and gave us plenty to see about what potentially could be the only 1-2 we get. And they'll have to survive stout tests to get there. But I'm just curious, the performances you saw tonight from Michigan and Alabama, what most impressed?
Well, Alabama's defense is so much better this year. It's really remarkable the transformation they've made on the defensive end. They're an outstanding defensive team. They're just not good defensively, and they can really score. They're outstanding defensively. In fact, their defense is better than their offense. Now, when they shoot it like they did tonight, then forget it. They make 16 threes, it's over. But it all really starts, I think, with their defense, and that's been the difference in Alabama being a good team and them being a team that I think is Final Four worthy. And I think it's gonna, I picked them beforehand. Not that means anything to get out of that region.
I'm going to give Farnham a chance to strut for his Pac-12 a little bit later, but I don't want to miss what really is the positive headline here. They have been demonstrably excellent through these first couple of games that we've seen. And in UCLA's case, they played an extra one to get here. If you have sort of an overarching explanation or theme for what you've seen from this league, what would it be, Jay?
Well, UCLA's been pretty good all year, and they lost Chris Smith to injury, overcame that. They didn't play well at the end of the year, but part of that was they had to go up to Oregon at the end as a makeup game. So that certainly didn't help them. Oregon is now healthy. They were not healthy earlier in the year. They didn't have Will Richardson. If Will Richardson had been playing the lefty, if he'd been playing the whole year, he would have been first team all Pac-12. He's that good. And to have that team healthy now, able to press, switch defenses, they're really talented. And then USC covers up the rim. I mean, defensively, they're a joke. They are so difficult to score upon. And to have Evan Mobley as player of the year in the Pac-12 and then defensive player of the year, as you know, Scotty, the last guy to do that in the major conference, the only guy to do that, it was Anthony Davis at Kentucky in 2012. The surprise, obviously, was Oregon State. They've been on a roll. They're good. I don't think anybody expected this, and I don't think they expected this. But they've been on a roll, and they're playing really well. And it's got to be fun for them to be on this kind of roll. And they're in one place. Like, usually, team goes back to campus. You don't know if they're going to stay on that roll when they go home. Then they got to go to another site. Now they're staying in one place. Maybe it's easier to keep momentum there.
Yeah, and I also think that they've got a bunch of teams that can get buckets. We see in college basketball teams struggle from TV timeout to TV timeout sometimes. Not these guys, and there's a reason why they've got a quarter of the Sweet 16. All credit to them for what they've done. And again, Sean Farnham will join us a little bit later to talk more about it. As always, Jay, treat to talk basketball with you. I look forward to doing it again, all right?